Hello, guys, and just want to bring you a little update on how I use toothpaste. So, of course, you see we have a pair of Converse here, and basically, my daughter probably has not cleaned these from the time she's had them. Naturally, we've got scuffs, we've got marks. Now, I'm not going to say that this process is going to clean every type of mark you come across, but it does help the more periodically you do it. So I don't use regular toothpaste. I make a toothpaste and I'll link a video for that later. But right now I'm going to show you what I do with toothpaste. So naturally we just have a toothbrush and I went to the dollar store, got some Ultra Bright toothpaste and we're going to put that on there. No, we're not going to brush with that. We're going to brush these with that. And basically, we're just going to clean her shoes with toothpaste and water. Nothing extra, nothing different, really nothing special. So, and this is part of the reason why I do not put toothpaste in my mouth anymore, because it can do this to a shoe. It can do this to a sole and might just do this to my soul if I put this in my body, which is not good. But yeah, so right now, since the shoe is white, I'm going to scrub the fabric as well as the rubber sole. And I'm even going to clean the inside. The upside it's minty. So whatever you touch with it is going to smell pretty good once you finish. But essentially, you just want to scrub in circular motions. And basically to loosen up and get out any of those little crevices, anything. And because your shoe's not actually flat. It's not as flat as it seems or appears or feels. There is a texture there. So you want to go against the grain. And the best way to do that is just give it some circular motions. And every once in a while you'll see me go back and forth with it. But primarily circular motions. Now you can apply the toothpaste and don't be afraid with the amount. Put a nice amount on there, rub it in if you need to. Yes, you see whole amount of toothpaste. It could be sitting on the top. That's perfectly fine. But now you may want to test it with certain materials. Let me just say that first. But as far as these Converse here go, the canvas is very sturdy, very good shoe. So I didn't have any issues. And I'll show you some other types of shoes that I've cleaned with toothpaste. And kind of discuss, where you might have an issue, or in my case, I really didn't have any issues. So, yes, now some of those spots that I mentioned it may not get out as well is like here, where her shoestring just sat and it got really dark. That will help to lighten and clean these a little bit, but if it doesn't get it completely clean, trust me, it's a lot safer than throwing them in the washer and possibly turning them yellow by bleaching. I rinse the shoe maybe every 2 to 3 minutes just to make sure that where I'm scrubbing needs to be scrubbed, really. Because at first, it's not very hard to get it really, really clean. Extremely cleaner than it already was. And I didn't want to sit there and keep scrubbing a spot that did not need my attention. So I rinse it every 2 to 3 minutes just to, give it time to sit in between if you want. But also make sure you kind of just go ahead and rinse it to see. You don't want to have to scrub the whole shoe if you don't need to scrub the whole shoe. If I only need to scrub this part of the rubber, then I'm only going to scrub this part because the rest of it is clean enough to my expectation. But here you notice I'm just going to go around and pretty much just work it in there. So here you see I'm going to start on the inside, and yeah, that was a little bit too much water, but basically just enough water to pretty much wet it, and you're just gonna lather it. Now it doesn't help that I don't know what color these soles were originally. They possibly were a off tan or brown color, but they will not have a foot indenture in them once I finish. So yeah, you just scrub, rinse it out every maybe again 2 to 3 minutes just to expel any dirty water that's sitting in there and to give you a cleaner palette to kind of scrub a little bit more of the grime out. So yes, we're just gonna rinse all the way through, and you see how much it's shining, guys. Now again, Not always the exact same as throwing them in the washer, but they don't get thrown around. You don't have to worry about them being yellow when you pull them out. And I've just seen so many unfortunate events or, outcomes with just throwing your shoes in the washer. So, yeah, this was a little bit more personal for me, and I actually rather enjoyed the outcome. I was pleased with the outcome. Now, I really wish I knew who to credit for showing or letting me know about the toothpaste for cleaning shoes. I want to say it was another YouTube video, but if I ever come across it, I will certainly give whoever it is their credit. So, but yes, scrub the inside, scrub the outside, everything but the bottom. I mean, of course, if you've got like, Jordans or something, you can by all means scrub the bottom as well. But it actually doesn't even matter whether you use loop, cold, or warm water or hot water, your preference. So I did find that sometimes cold water works a little bit better on the fabric part and warm water works better on the rubber sole, but essentially it did the job for me. So yeah, and again, I did let the white Converse, sit maybe 2 to 3 minutes with the toothpaste just rubbed in them, and then I came back and rebrushed and rinsed them out really, really good. And again, rinsing along the way just lets you know, or kind of helps you identify what you would want to rescrub. No sense in rescrubbing the whole shoe if you don't need to rescrub the whole shoe. So I know you guys are wondering if just the canvas work. No, you can scrub just about any shoe. Now I haven't tried any suede shoes, and there may be a few other materials out there that I have not tested this on, but so far I haven't had any issues. So, and I don't really do a lot of suede shoes, so if I ever do get a chance, I will let you guys know how it worked. But these K-Swiss, my 10-year-old has had them for over a year. Bought them at the end of 3rd grade. And yeah, I've cleaned them every maybe 2, 3, 4 months. And they're not as dirty or hard to clean as the Converse, which have never been cleaned. So a key here is to consistently clean your shoes. You don't have to do it every week. You really don't have to do it every month. But especially with your kids, if you want them to keep those white shoes a little bit longer, and you know that everyone knows you need one pair of black shoes at least and one pair of white shoes at least. So yeah, we can't just avoid the color white because our kids can't keep them clean, or because we can't keep them clean. Either way, but this is maybe the only white pair of shoes she's had this long that still look this good. So yes, and when I scrubbed them, I also scrubbed the threads. Now I didn't take the shoestrings out this time, but yes, don't be ashamed to jump in there with, scrub the threads. Wash the shoestrings, like work some shoestrings too. Put them in your hand, throw some toothpaste in there. I washing them for maybe 2 to 3 minutes each, and then rinse to see how much more I need to lather them. And of course the shoestrings were the easiest part, and the result, oh my gosh, it's like brand new pair of shoestrings, and they're minty. So here we go. No, it doesn't just work on white shoes. And if you've ever ordered a pair of shoes from me, I know you all wondered, how do I clean my shoes? Oh my god. There are ways to clean your shoes. We do coat our shoes that way. They're waterproof. They are weatherproof. They are all-terrain shoes. So, and a lot of times when you get a print from a shoe company, their print is embedded. So yes, by all means, go in, dive in, clean the soles, rub the top, And no, you don't have to be afraid that it's going to take off any of the color, because it's not. I started with the sole here, and of course you'll see a bit of the toothpaste does go up above the brim, but don't even worry about it, because shortly I'm going to start scrubbing the top. So I'm not even afraid. I trusted, tested the best way to clean your shoes. So, but yeah, again, rinse every 2 to 3 minutes, guys, just to make sure you're not scrubbing somewhere you don't need to scrub any longer. Like, it works so well that you won't have to scrub the whole shoe. You won't have to continuously sit here and do this for 15 minutes. This took me 25 minutes, but I did clean 3 pairs of shoes. So a 10-year-old pair of shoes, a 19-year-old pair of shoes, and a pair of shoes that I fed the dogs and the ducks in. So yeah, I haven't cleaned these at all in the last 8 months since I've really been wearing them. And again, not afraid to scrub the top. Just circular motions kind of help get that dirt to let loose here. And I'm going to show you just how much it shines in comparison. And of course, again, minty fresh leaves you with a fresh pair of shoes. So didn't damage any of the sole, the color, the inside. And again, just rinse it off like you're rinsing a bowl or a plate or a cup, you know. Nothing special, but the outcome is. So yes, and you can clearly see the difference here. Like, oh, okay, I have a scuff here that I kind of need to rub out, but toothpaste makes it so easy to get that out as well. But you see how badly I have worn these, like I wore them outside. This shoe, that shoe, this shoe, that shoe, this shoe, that shoe. So look at the inside. Looks like a brand new pair of shoes, you know? It's really simple, cost effective, cheap really, if you really just want to be honest about it. And now I'm just gonna clean the other shoe, you know? Scrub where you need to scrub the most. Don't be afraid to use ample amounts of toothpaste. Reapply the toothpaste if it's not giving you enough suds, if it's not giving you enough lather. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. So we're just gonna go through here and clean this one like I cleaned the last one. I have literally almost worn this toothbrush out. And for some reason, there are only, we'll say 4 or 5 people commute through this house. Somehow I have 25 toothbrushes. So I'm pretty sure you guys are not at a loss for finding a used toothbrush. I don't know why so many people need so many toothbrushes, because I only use one a day or a night. I use the same one for a little while. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't see why we need so many, but you can always find an old toothbrush or just go buy a new one. If you want one, get a hard bristle. Yeah, no biggie. Same place I got the dollar toothpaste from. So, and if you have issues like holding your shoe still, you can always sandwich it like down in the corner, or use like this. Use the base, brush it like you're brushing crocodile teeth, you know? Like if you had a crocodile, how you would hold his mouth and like, show me them teeth, that kind of thing. So yeah, but it keeps the shoe steady. That way you can really get into the grooves and the threads, because again, looks flat, but it's not. There are a lot of textures on your shoes, and those textures, those crevices, those dents and divots hold dirt, and it all matters. It makes a difference. Now, don't forget, guys, we've cleaned the side. We want to clean the inside. We also want to scrub the outside, just to make sure that if there are any white threads or, you know, any markings here, we kind of clean everything up at the same time. Really helps the more frequently you do this, not just for the health and sanity of your shoes, but also for your health and sanity. So once you do go to clean your shoes, you're not like, oh, I should just throw these away because this is taking too long. Didn't take me long at all to really do all of the shoes. Really enjoyed the outcome. Did not cost me a lot. I spent $1 because I already have a used toothbrush. You know, $2 most, at most, if you don't have a used toothbrush. But yeah. And again, just gonna hit this top part here because I want it to shine as much as my other shoe shines. So fresh, so clean. Rinse and squeeze. What you can do is just run your hand down the inside of your shoe like that, and it'll kind of pull the water to the back. So it's weird, you're going to be pouring water out of your shoe, but yeah, it'll help it dry out in the end. I also do not stick my shoes in the dryer. They will air dry. So I try to squeeze out as much water as possible because they're going to sit up. Maybe for a day. If you squeeze out enough water, it really doesn't take long for them to dry. Just find a nice humid place, and like my washroom, it's like warm cold, so it's like the perfect conditions for having a lot of things dry out. So, and again, if you have issues getting it to stand still, just nudge it down with your hand in the corner against the wall like this at an angle, and just scrub, guys. Oh, I'm so excited. So here is the finished product, guys. Like, again, it helps the more often you clean them. You can most certainly clean the tongues, the inside soles, rubber soles, bottom if you need to. So white shoes are a lot more clean. Shoestrings are ultra clean. Year-old white shoes my daughter has had, still presentable. And yes, you can, oh yeah, of course I need to scrub it a little bit more in the front. But again, the more frequently you do it, the easier it is to get off. I just haven't cleaned them in maybe 6 months. Yeah, I've been procrastinating. But I even scrubbed the inside. So it's almost like I threw them in the washer without actually throwing them in the washer. So, and then my babies, all nice and clean again. And you see how the crab now shines. He shines just like my right shoe. So yeah, head to toe. But thanks for stopping by, guys. I hope now you have some new ideas of what to do with your toothpaste. And like, share, subscribe. Till next time.